Okay, it's a strange looking series, by the way. And what do you mean by that? The arctangent of n. If you write the terms down, what would you get over here? Well, let's see. The first term would be what? You get minus 1 to the 1, which is minus 1. And on the bottom, you get the arctan of 1. Whoops. Let me write that a little bit differently, because I'm going to have to write it down a few times. So minus 1. I'm going to write down inverse tangent of 1. No, I'm not going to compute the numbers. What's next going to be plus 1 over the arctangent of 2. What's the next term going to be? Well, it's not going to be plus, it's going to be minus now, right? This over here, minus 1 over the, let's see, the arctangent of 3, all right? And certainly, you kind of march along here. I'm not going to continue, by the way, but I do know it's alternating. And I want to point out, I'm looking at the arctangent function. So really, kind of what I'm looking at is, I'm looking at something that looks sort of like this over here. And this is going to be asymptotic here with pi over 2. So as you go up here, I mean, the numbers like 1, 2, it's going to evaluate each time. It'll be all positive. But again, it alternates between plus or minus. Right? So I'm looking at this and I'm wondering how to do it. The first thing I do is I always go back to, a really simple test, which is the divergence test, all right? So I'm going to write this over here. So limit, and we're looking for this is the easiest test to use, by the way, as n goes to infinity of the term, which is going to be minus 1 over n, and then what do you get on bottom? You get arctangent of n. Now, I hope you realize this guy on top is kind of bouncing around between plus or minus 1. And this guy on bottom, as n goes to infinity, is certainly going to go towards, again, this bounces back and forth between plus and minus 1. On bottom, as n goes towards infinity, we're going to get the number towards pi over 2. So this thing over here, if I looked at it, it would bounce back and forth between, minus 2 over pi and 2 over pi, which what I know about this over here, it's dne. All right, once I can show the general term as n goes to infinity is a dne, what can I say? I can say this series over here, without further inspection, is going to be divergent. What did we use? We used the divergence test. That's all we did. Thank you.